Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So today's video is going to be a bit different. I'm going to be talking with you about a topic that's been on my mind for a few days, and then I'll get back to, well, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what I'll do next. I try to just go with the flow with my videos and see what comes through for me. But today I want to talk about the subject of unity, okay? Because it's something that I've noticed has come up over this whole year, really. Not even just unity, not just the word unity, but also oneness and the phrase, we are all one. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. The question that needs to be asked is, are we truly ready for unity? Are we prepared for unity? Is unity, another question, is unity what we truly want? Do we desire unity? Okay. And this is probably going to be a short video, but I wanted to get this out there. It's something for you to kind of like think about and reflect on. Unity or oneness has been a very popular, I guess, buzzword, especially floating around amongst a lot of modern spiritual circles, this idea of unity. But from what I've also been seeing within this past year is that there have been a lot of situations that have tested our ability to actually practice oneness, to actually become unified. And it seems like there are certain situations which have, it's tested us and we've actually gone into that space of being unified. But there are a lot of situations that we've gone 180 degrees opposite of being unified. Okay, so it's interesting because there is a lot of talk about oneness and unity, especially with this whole, the spiritual ascension that's happening and all the stuff that people are talking about in terms of Earth's evolution. But, I guess you can already assume that we're unified in terms of our higher dimensional selves. But it's not enough for us to be unified in a spiritual sense. The whole point of anything being, on whether it be fifth dimensional or whatever dimensional, whatever level, is that we are able to actually ground it and bring it into the physical world. So, that's part of our spiritual evolution, is we're actually not ascending upward in order to escape our humanity. We're actually bringing all of that energy down into the physical world so we can bring it into the earth. That's what helps the earth also to evolve and to shift, and it helps other people to evolve and shift. So it's always like a domino effect occurring. Okay. So the thing is, I'm like trying to see like how I want to go about this. I'm wondering if unity is something that we all truly want. And I say this because with everything that has happened in terms of COVID, racial issues in this country, it seems to me that people like the idea of unity. They like what it appears to be, or they like the word unity. But if people actually truly desire unity is another question. It's another beast altogether. Because the thing is, in order for us to get to a space of unity, we have to be willing to do the work necessary in order to get there. Which means that before unity, sometimes there is chaos, sometimes there is disruption, sometimes it's an emotional period. There's a lot of confrontation. There is a lot of stuff we need to confront within ourselves, and also things that we need to discuss with other people, things on a very deep level, things that may have been hidden, but finally need to be addressed, and need to be addressed with an approach of openness, of compassion, of understanding, especially given our history. And it seems to me that we've been having some issues with that, okay? And this is one aspect of unity. This is one aspect of this whole thing. In order for us to get to a space of unity, we need to be willing to listen to each other, to let our guard down. And also we need to be willing to discuss things openly and not from a place of defensiveness. And we also need to be willing to understand if certain people are defensive about certain topics, why they might be feeling that way. And coming from different sides of whatever we're dealing with, especially let's say it comes to racial issues, there needs to be an openness on both sides. And we seem to be having some issues with that. Now, whether we're actually on the journey to unity, I mean, yes. But are we ready for it? That's the question. Or do we just like the idea of what it looks like? Are we willing to do what it takes to get there? Now, when we talk about COVID, okay, so I'm saying this right now. This is coming from my video. If you don't want to hear it, you could turn off the video. But I'm not talking about, you don't know if COVID is real and it's man-made. And listen, all of that stuff, it doesn't matter to me, okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, people are dying from this thing. And if they don't die, sometimes people fully recover, that's fine. But my heart goes out to those people that have died and those that are still living with the results or the byproducts of this condition, that are still suffering. So to me, that is what is important. And that's what I'm going to be speaking in reference to, okay? So, when it comes to COVID and how people are approaching this, especially those in modern spiritual circles, there is a very strong attachment to this idea of freedom, of independence, what it means to be free, which is another video in and of itself of what it actually means to be free, what freedom means, okay? That's not really going to be touching upon that right now. But people seem to really be attached to that. This idea of personal freedom, of personal autonomy, and at the same time wanting this whole fifth dimensional integration of togetherness and unity. So people saying things like, well, I'm not responsible for your health. I'm not responsible for, I don't know whether you get sick or not. I'm not responsible for whether you're afraid or whatever. But this whole idea of personal responsibility, what you're responsible for as opposed to what I'm responsible for. People tend to think that responsibility means, okay, I have to give you everything that I have. I have to open my home to you. You have to live with me. And we tend to be extreme that way, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay? I feel that if we truly want unity, if we truly want the togetherness that we say that we do, we have to be willing to understand that in some essence, it may not be from a scale of 1 to 10, it might not be on the 10 scale. It might be a little bit less than that, or a lot less than that. We have a responsibility to one another. We have to be willing to consider other people, okay? So, wait, what just happened? Oh. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I just got a phone call and then my phone did something weird. But anyway, what I was saying is that we need to be willing to take, at least on a scale of 1 to 10, it doesn't have to be a number 10, but it does need to be on the scale, okay? So we need to be willing to be considerate of one another. We need to be willing to at least be open to the idea that if we are truly going to be unified, we have to see each other as like brothers and sisters. So it's going to be very hard for us to be unified the way we supposedly want and say things like, well, if you get sick, that's not my problem. Or, if you don't have enough money to pay for this or that, that's not my problem. If we are going to be unified, if people are in dire straits, it's everybody's problem, okay? And I'm not saying, like I said, not saying you have to give everything that you have, but we, at least if we truly want to be unified, we need to keep these things in mind. Like that we can't completely divorce ourselves, so we can't hold on to this idea of separateness and then also be unified. We have to make a choice. We're all unique and we're separate in that way because we're all unique. So in terms of our expressions, we're unique expressions. But if we're truly going to be unified, and if we're cut from the same cloth, how can we separate ourselves from our fellow brother or sister or whatever? How are we going to do that? So that's just a question that I want you all to think about. You know, if we do you truly want unity? And it's fine if you don't, but the best thing that you could do with yourself right now is to be honest. Okay, so just something to reflect on. Sorry about the interruption, but it was so weird. I send you all so much love and gratitude, and I'll see you around soon. Take care. Bye-bye.